5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition. Strap in. You're about to listen to the hottest sounds in the mix. In the mix.
Hey, everyone. What's going on? What's poppin'?
Live and direct.
Hey, let's get to it. Another episode. Thank you once again for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in.
Conversations with Whitney and Dwayne on our podcast show.
Yes,
we are
sir.
on episode 16.
Episode 16. I'm so excited, aren't you?
Yo, wow. I'm humbled. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. Shout out to everybody who's rocked with us for the last 15 episodes.
Yes.
We got some powerful conversation for us tonight for episode 16. A continuation of last week's conversation. We had some powerful conversation. Real quick, we want to shout out Sharice. We want to shout out Renee. We want to shout out
What's up, James? I see you on Instagram.
everyone who called in last week and gave us a phone call and gave us their powerful story. Shout out to Kiana. We want to shout out to everybody who called in.
Yes, thank you.
We want to hear from y'all once again.
Thank you.
Want some new calls coming in tonight.
Yes, we do. I want to
For
shout.
another. I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
He hype. No, that's
Yeah.
all right. Want to shout out everyone on Facebook, Instagram, In the Mix Radio, chiming in, looking at us, viewing us. Shout out to James. Thank you, James, for supporting.
Yeah. What's up, James?
But let's get into our announcements. So what's up? Let them know. Let the people know where they can purchase our book.
You can purchase the book any online retail store that's selling books, meeting authentic you. There it is. Conversations with Whitney and Dwayne, inspirational messages to help you meet yourself. We believe that in this time, a lot of people are struggling with being their authentic selves. A lot of people are pretending, being people that they're not, and pain and shaping people into people that they never were supposed to be. So we believe that this book is a book that you want to get in your hands and help you meet your authentic self. So make sure you get that book from any online store, preferably Barnes & Nobles, one of the greatest bookstores that we know here in this country. So make sure you order your copy. And let me say this, because I feel led to say it, Whit.
What?
God put this in my spirit. Over these last couple of weeks, I've been noticing a lot of youth, and it's been going on for some time, but these last couple of weeks has been really, really challenging and real sad that the age 15 has been ringing in my head. And that's the age where a lot of youth are experiencing a lot of hardship, a lot of trauma, a lot of pain, a lot of death, and they don't know how to deal with it. And in this particular book, we have inspirations inside of this book that I'm speaking how to deal with that pain and that trauma as a 15-year-old, because when I was 15, I lost my dad. One of the most painful things that I've ever had to deal with was losing my father at that critical age in my life. So if you are a pastor, a teacher, a counselor, if you're working with youth in some of these community centers, some of these nonprofits, whatever it is that you are currently doing to provide some kind of help and assistance, you need to get this copy in your hands and get this copy to your kids that you provide this service with. And I guarantee you, I promise you that this book will really be able to transform the minds of those kids that you're dealing with who may be struggling with dealing with those emotions from the things that they're dealing with. You got a budget going into the new year, June and July. This is the book that you need to get your hands on and put it inside of your kid's hand. Whitney and I will come to your school, your community center, your nonprofit, and we will be able to have a conversation with your youth. So make sure you get a copy of this book.
Yes, please. We have a lot of kids already blessed by it. Shout out to my Bronx Prep students and students in Westchester Great Potential Program, Girls Inc., who has this Meeting Authentic You book. They're blessed by it. So please, like Dwayne said, teachers, pastors, nonprofit organizations dealing with youth, hit us up so they can get a copy and so we can come to your school. What's up with the Vibe With Me movement? How's that going? How
the Vibe With Me movement right now. Can I get that picture up there, good brother Cruz? Yeah, there it is. So many individuals are tuning in right now. I got people, once again, as I continue to say week in and week out. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it is what it is. Shout out to my people across the world, Holland, London, Malaysia, Africa, Kenya, people all over the world, people across the country are vibing with me. My people in Boston, my people in Baltimore, my people in VA, my people in South Carolina, North Carolina, my people all over the world. Everybody in NY that's showing me love, that's getting your hat, your T-shirt, your sweatshirt. The army is forming with. I don't care. I don't care about the people who don't like it. I'm not concerned about the people who got a problem with it. I'm more concerned about the people who are joining this movement. It's picking up momentum every day. So if you want to purchase your apparel, make sure you holler at me on Instagram and Facebook directly, and I will send that to you if you are not in the city. I will get it to you within the next 3 to 5 days. Thank you so much to everybody who has supported the movement, who has purchased apparel, because all you're doing is helping me fund these visions so we can reach more of the people. Thank you so much. Now tell us what's going on with this Go Get It conference, Whit.
Go Get It conference. We solidified all our presenters, our exhibitors. Actually, if you want to be a vendor, hit me up because our vendor spots are going. It's November 3rd, 2018 at the Radisson Hotel. Go Get It. This year's theme is Celebrate You. Celebrate You. It's going to be transformative. So come out. Tickets are on Eventbrite. It's live. If you're interested in being a vendor, hit me up, 914-715-7479, and get your spot. Get your spot. We got that video? Here, a little commercial.
Hey.
Cause I command attention when I walk
Hey,
inside.
Roxy, that's the host.
I'm a lady boss, I make my own schedule.
Third annual.
This is the third one. It only gets better each year.
That's right.
It only gets better each year. We believe in it. We pushing regardless of the challenges that's coming. We still going to turn it into a reality. We're going to take these visions inside of our mind and our spirits and make them a reality.
You're on sale, y'all. Eventbrite.
Yeah.
Looking to be a vendor, hit me up. November 3rd, 2018. All right. Need your support.
Yeah.
All righty. Now, my social media information, if you want to get the tickets, if you have any questions about being a vendor, about the event itself, you can contact me on my social media. That's I am Whitney D. Smith. That's on Instagram and also on Facebook. Whitney Smith, hit me up.
Yeah.
Also, you can get to me through our Go Get It page and through our Meeting Authentic You page. Just get to me. That's my information. Contact me if you want to be a vendor or you want to get a book.
Yeah.
What's up, Dwayne? Let the people know your social media handles.
Social media handles real quick. D.Graham, Graham, the number 3. That's my Instagram page. You might want to join me every morning. I'm giving out that energy and this vibe every morning. I promise you, you will start your day with an energy, with a thought, with a perspective, with a vibe that will set the tone of your day. So make sure you vibe with me on Instagram at D.Graham, Graham, the number 3. Make sure you rock out with me every day. I got that inspiration and that motivation and most importantly, that transformation that you need in your life. And then on Facebook, I'm Mr. Graham as God's Child. That's the Facebook handle. That's the Instagram handle. And I want to be able to help you handle whatever it is you having a hard time handling. Let's get to it with.
Yes. Share our video. We're on inthemixradio.com. You can view us right now live on Facebook, on Instagram. Share our video, tell your friends. And we want you to call in. The numbers are 914-969-6499 or 718-705-4959.
Let's do that one more time. 914-969-6499. We want y'all to call in tonight. The topic of conversation, once again, is part 2 of Women of Strength. We are dealing with women in the various different challenges, the demands, the hardship, the struggle, the pain, the hurt, whatever it is that you're dealing with. But at the same time, you have this supernatural ability to tap into your superpower and be this strong, phenomenal, dynamic, divine woman in order to just navigate through this thing that we call life. We want to hear from you guys tonight. We want to hear your story. We want you to share how powerful you have been, even though you have had some of the most hurtful, betrayed, loss, grief, disappointment, violated trust, friendships and marriages not working out, losing loved ones and maybe even children, unfortunately. We want to hear how you've been able to stay strong in the midst of the pain. That's what we're talking about tonight. Make sure you call in 718-705-4959. Let's get to it.
got that. I want to let me shout out Edith. Hey, Edith, my student is watching on Instagram.
Hey, what's going on? We got the
you.
youth tuned in tonight.
I see you.
Shout out to everybody on our Instagram and our Facebook who's tuning in to us live tonight. Thank you so much. The call-in numbers is up there. Thank you so much for adding that to the show.
We want to also want you to join us on Monday mornings where we have Monday Morning Glory. We have prayer call every single Monday at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
From 7 to 7:15, 15 minutes where we join together through prayer. So we do some teaching, encouraging. So this is a flyer. Please join us every Monday morning.
Yeah.
Monday Morning Glory. I'm trying to read my flyer. Number is 515-739-1015. And the passcode, you can find that on our social media.
383-812-662.
You can
Make
find
sure you call in every Monday morning at 7 o'clock to 7:15.
You can find that flyer on our social media handles. All right, so join us. Dwayne, what's up with your spirit? We're going to do a little spirit check.
A little spirit check on tonight. Let me tell you this, Whit. Last week, no, never mind. I'll go straight to today. I did share last week that the word that was in my spirit was advance, right? Mm-hmm. Advancement. I'm in that same space, right? But at the same time, today was an interesting day because I clearly see that something is happening that doesn't want what's about to happen to happen. So what's going on in my spirit at this particular moment? I feel grateful, thankful for the army that I have with me who came to, fight this fight with me when the enemy tried to stop some of this vibe from happening because he don't want this thing to happen. So my spirit on the night is in a space of gratitude and thankfulness because what's going to happen is what's going to happen. And it's not going to be stopped.
That's good.
How's your spirit on tonight?
You want me to be honest?
I never want you to lie.
Oh.
Come on, give it to us. Let's go. We got time. Come on.
I'm trying to say how my spirit is without, I'm going to try to be as transparent
I'm gonna be quiet.
as I
I'm
can.
gonna shut up. You got it.
But my spirit, my spirit today is in a space of being healed and restored. My spirit's in a place of healing. And throughout, when we get to our topic, Women of Strength, I will share some things and with our women, with our audience. But my spirit is in healing stage, restoration, but it's also, I would say, in a survival and strength mode. So right on topic. It's right on topic. Okay. And I'll get more into that when we get into our topic. Okay. So, listen, call in 914-969-6499, 718-705-4959.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
We have what's going on in the community. Here's our what's going on segment.
Yeah, what's going on?
Where we talk about the things that are happening in our community.
Yeah, what's going on? What's happening?
We also share things that are happening in our community that our entrepreneurs are doing. If you wrote a book, if you started a business, whatever it is, we shout you out during this time.
Yes, we do.
On our show. And we also talk about what's going on in the community. What I want to big up, since we're talking about women of strength in our topic segment, Cruz, can you put that picture up? I don't know if you heard of Cynthia Marshall, have you?
Educate me.
All right. So have you heard of her?
No.
Okay. Now, I'm not a big basketball fan, but I am a football fan. But I'm not a big basketball fan. But Cynthia Marshall, and I'm going to have a picture up. She's up here with Mark Cuban. Everybody know who Mark Cuban is. Let's billionaire. He's on Shark Tank.
Let's show who she is.
But this is Cynthia Marshall. She is now the new interim CEO of the Mavericks franchise.
Yeah, I like that.
So dope. She is the new interim CEO of the Mavericks franchise.
I like that.
Which I think is so dope. A woman in this capacity. Because if we think about these type of jobs, we think we'll see a male in that seat. right? You should see a male in that seat, and she's in charge of everything. And I was reading the article. She's oversees all aspects of the organization that are not basketball operations related. So the fact that she's sitting in the seat, it's so powerful. It's like, we as women, you can do anything. Do not limit God or put your limitations on God, because we can do anything we put our minds to. We can sit in the seats that men think that we shouldn't sit in the seats of.
That's good.
Right?
No, I love it. I'm
so
for it.
I wanted to big her up during this segment, but I also wanted to say something about her, which I love. Well, the thing is that she's a strong individual, because she has 4 children, all adopted, and she grew up in the housing projects of Richmond, California. At 11 years old, she witnessed her father shooting a man in the head in self-defense. And Marshall said, the man had been pointing a pistol at her. Her father left her family 4 years later. And also, she's been a victim of domestic violence as a mother. Also, before this job, she's like 58 years old, but I think it's like 4 or 5 years before that, she was diagnosed with cancer. You talk about women of strength.
I like that. I like that story.
You talk about women of strength. She is
story.
the epitome of it. And the thing is that she was about to move from Charlotte. I think the Mavericks are in Charlotte, right? Is that? No. Oh,
Dallas.
sorry.
Dallas.
They're in Dallas. Sorry. I'm not a basketball. But she was about to move from Dallas.
Right.
They were going to move. But something was holding her back. Right? So she didn't move because God didn't. Her plan was for her to stay in Dallas.
Right.
I'll read it. But her plan was to stay in Dallas. Now we know why. She's in this seat, this big seat. She's now the CEO, new interim CEO for the Mavericks franchise.
That's super dope.
So I had to bring her in because it's a woman of strength.
I think that's super dope. that's super dope. Cruz, can we get a round of applause for
Can
Cynthia
we get
Marshall?
a round of applause for Cynthia Marshall?
I think that's phenomenal. I think that's a great segue to go into our topic of conversation tonight for women of strength.
Can we get our number out?
914-969. Now is the time that we want to hear from you guys. 914-969-6499. 718-705-4959. Those are the 2 numbers that you can call in on. Once again, 914-969-6499 or 718-705-4959. Thank you in advance for calling in, because this is the show that you just might want to call in on, and not just be apprehensive to expose or reveal or disclose or just share, some of your experience, past or present. You just might be a blessing to somebody else, because you might be feeling like, I'm supposed to be doing more. Something is off. I feel like I could be doing, but I don't know. But maybe tonight is your night where you can make a difference and actually be a voice to somebody tonight or later, whoever may tune in later on to listen to this show. So your pain may introduce somebody to purpose, or your purpose may pull somebody out of the pain. So what you want to do tonight is call in and have a conversation with Whitney and I. Once again, it's 914-969-6499 or 718-705-4959. Also, before we get started, make sure you go to Barnes & Noble or any online store or any online site that sells books. Meeting the Authentic You. Conversations with Whitney and Dwayne. Empowering, inspiring messages to help you meet you. That's what you want to do tonight. Make that your assignment. Don't let this moment pass where you don't operate off of what you feel like you're supposed to be doing right now. Don't be distracted by what's going wrong. Don't keep scrolling on your social media looking to be entertained. It's time to be empowered and inspired, and most importantly, transformed. So let's get into the topic of conversation.
Hey,
women of strength. Let's pick up where we left off last week. If you don't mind sharing,
Okay.
If you don't mind sharing, I got a question for you. If you don't mind sharing.
I want to shout out some Instagram people.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
Pretty Ricky, what's up? Call in. I want you to call in tonight. We're talking about women of strength. All my women, I want y'all to call in. What's the question?
Last week was a powerful show.
It was a lot. It was a lot going on.
And just a brief recap, right? We had a woman call in. Sharice shared how she lives with the hurt and the pain of losing her son, Nathan, 10 years ago, and how she turned that pain into purpose, and how she has her own nonprofit organization, a 501c3, in which she's now giving back to the youth to stop gun violence. We had Renee call in and talked about how she deals with the hurt of losing a daughter. We had Kiana come in and give her perspective. And we had, I forgot the other sister who called in. I can't think of her name right now. It'll come back to me. But she called in and talked about how she's always the one that everybody's looking for. So we had 4 or 5 different people call in last week and give their current or past experiences, and they also exuded and exhibited a level of strength to be able to just share it, because it takes strength to share it, because sometimes the pain sometimes can silence you. So what my question is for you as we recap last week's show is, how did that impact you as a woman? If it did anything at all, what did it do?
It just reminded me of how strong women are. You know,
Okay.
It just reminded me of what we deal with, what we go through, and how strong we have to be, because we still have kids that are here. We still have people who count on us. So we have to be strong. I mean, in my own personal situation, or dealing with life as it comes, I think having to deal with the hurt and pain of broken relationships, people walking out on you, having to deal with you losing things that, and let me say something. When somebody walk out on you, I'm sorry, Holy Spirit, when somebody walk out on you or you lose something, it wasn't yours to begin with, right? And it wasn't meant for you to have. So you let them people walk. But anyway, during those hardships and people walking out on your life, we still have to find the strength to even heal and protect our healing. So when I said this today, that my spirit is in a place of healing, my spirit is in a place of healing and restoration, but I have to be strong to protect my healing.
I like that.
I have to be strong to protect my healing, because in a space, or I'm going through a season right now.
That's good, Whit.
I'm going through a season right now. I'm going to put it out there. I don't know. That if I'm going through a season right now where I had somebody walk out of my life, right? And I'm in a season of healing. So I have to make sure I protect that healing, because I know that I'm in a place of vulnerability, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't want anybody to take advantage of the place I am. So that's strong in itself to be able to even notice that, to be able to come into fruition with that. So many a times us as women, we deal with this every day of this hurt and this pain. And it's the fact that you know that you need healing, or the fact that you know that you're in pain, the fact that you're conscious about it is the fact. It just shows you how strong you are. Because the weak people want to the weak people want to step on it. The weak people do not want to confront it. The weak people just don't want to deal with it.
Can we say the disconnected people?
Disconnected. If you don't call it, we change the language. Disconnected people don't want to handle it. But
can I say why I want to change it? Because last week you raised a powerful perspective in terms of, sometimes as a woman, the role that you guys are called to operate in, sometimes you just don't feel like getting up, doing this, that, and the third, and that doesn't make you weak, because that's the space that you're in at the time. But the disconnected person, as you gave those depictions, those descriptions, I feel like that individual is a person who's spiritually disconnected, and in their disconnection, they're unfortunately exhibiting everything that you just communicated.
Okay, here we go. So I like the fact that you changed that language. So the fact that, because women, or in a sense, deal with so much, and there are times, and I know women, when you go through a breakup, when you lose a loved one, when you lose that job, or whatever the case is, of that loss, when you lose something, we don't feel like getting up out of the bed. We don't feel like doing nothing, because we're in our feelings, we're in our emotions, we're dealing with that pain. And once we allow ourselves to be in that space for a long period of time, in that space of not wanting to get up, then we become disconnected. Like you said, we become disconnected spiritually. At the same time, give me a second. At the same time is that it's oh, we all have been there where we became disconnected spiritually, but God doesn't leave us in that pain by ourselves, and we are able to recruit. We're able to get back up, and that's strength in itself. So there are going to be times where you don't feel like getting out of bed. You're human. You're dealing with that pain.
That's good, Whit. And you know what? You really set the tone for the remainder of the show.
Call in.
Right? So here's the tone and here's the question for conversation. The question for conversation tonight, and hopefully you don't mind calling in and participating in this dialogue.
Yeah, we need you.
Is, do I want to turn my hurt into healing? Do I want to turn my pain into purpose? Is that what I'm interested in doing? That's the question for tonight. Do I want to turn my hurt into healing, and do I want to turn my pain into purpose? And if I do, then help me. Talk to me. Let's have a conversation on how do I go about doing that, because I don't want to stay hurt and I don't want to stay in pain. I don't want to remain here. It's unfortunate that I am here because I don't think that I deserved it. I gave my all. I invested my time. I don't think that I got what I should have got. But you know what? I can't stay here. And the longer I stay here, the more I become disconnected. And I don't want to be spiritually disconnected. I don't want to be off. I definitely don't want to introduce or entertain, rather, another relationship because of my vulnerability that I'm not supposed to be in, because I'm spiritually disconnected, because I've been hurt and in pain for longer than I was supposed to be in. So the question that I raised tonight to have a conversation is, do I want my hurt to turn into healing, and do I want my pain to turn into purpose? Let's have a conversation about it tonight. I hope that someone calls in and have a conversation with us tonight and is brave enough, because let me tell you something. Sometimes people may not feel comfortable to call in and talk because people got to expose the condition that they're in. We're living in a time where people love to be entertained and love to talk about everybody else other than what's going on with self. So these conversations normally will not kind of be like, they won't grab hold of people, and people won't come running by the dozens. It's kind of like when you're in church and they take an altar call and they say, is there anyone to come? Do I want to give my life to God? People are sitting there saying, oh, I ain't getting up. Who's the first one that's going to go? I'm not interested in going down because I want everybody to know that I'm not right, so to speak. And not that you're wrong. You just recognize the need, that you need something other than what you have. So tonight, it's kind of the same. You don't have to feel like you're wrong for calling in. You can say, maybe this conversation can help me stop being stuck in this emotional, mental space that I've been in that got me suppressing and suffocating myself and finding myself in emotional prison, in spiritual captivity. And I need to break free because I don't like where I am and where I have been. So this is a conversation that just might change my life and set me on a new course, a new path, because I'm tired of being quiet and talking about who hurt me, who left me, what didn't work out for me. I need to start having conversations about purpose, being healed, and living a new life, because I don't have to keep rereading the chapter of pain. I can create a new chapter and live a new life. So once again, that's the question for us on tonight. Do you want to turn your hurt into your healing? Do you want to turn your pain into your purpose? If you do, the number to call in tonight is 914-969-6499. Do me a favor, pin that number on your Instagram or your Facebook so somebody can see that number. Okay, there it is. So somebody, people process differently. I'm going to put it on mine. 718-705-4959. Now, let me share as a man how this has impacted me. Personal testimony real quick. My mother, God bless the dead, I lost her when I was 29 years old. She passed away from cancer. So as you read about the sister Cynthia Marshall, who was 50, how old is she?
She's 58.
She's 58. My mother didn't make it to 58. But I know she's still with me today. But she definitely was a woman of strength. She survived cancer twice before she transitioned. As a matter of fact, she died and the doctors brought her back to life. She used to tell me, she said, Whit. No, not Whit. I'm sorry. She said, Dwayne. I'm hyped. I'm fired up, right?
You are fired up.
She said, Dwayne, I died already. It ain't nothing they can do to me. And that statement was so powerful and so profound to me as a son. But of course, a child, a son or a daughter never really wants to really wrap their minds around losing their mom or their dad. And my mom was my soulmate. I love her. I miss her dearly. But to be blessed to have her for the 29 years that I had her and watch how she handled, raising 4 kids, losing a husband to the disease of addiction and HIV and AIDS because of the things that he was struggling with, but still had the strength to go on 13 to 14 years after his death and still serve people. So for me, as a man in relationship with the women in my life and in relationship just with women in general and serving them, coming from a mother like that, I could never, ever give up. I have to encourage women when I look at and I reflect on the relationship that I had with my mom and my relationship the relationship my mother had with other people in life. She refused to give in, even though she fought to her dying day. Because even when we was encouraging her to go to the hospital, she didn't want to go because I believe she knew her time was coming. And she was trying to delay it because she was still trying to love and serve everybody that she loved and cared for. So tonight, as a son, I want to encourage you, sister, auntie, mother, daughter, right, cousin, whatever your name or title is, as a woman, I want to encourage you that you have to continue to be a woman of strength. You have to, because your son is watching you. Your daughter is watching you. You cannot allow that pain and that betrayal and that loss, that disappointment, the job that didn't work out, the sickness on the job, the job that's not paying you what you deserve, the company that didn't work, the business that flopped, whatever it is that you go, the loss of your husband, the loss of your son, the loss of your mother, your father, you cannot stay there. You can't. I know it's hurt. I know it's painful, but we have to find a way to turn it into some kind of purpose, because you can't stay there. You're too strong. You are too strong to stay there. You can't stay down. You're too phenomenal. You're too divine. You're too special. You're too spiritual. You was wired for stuff like this. So tonight I feel led in my spirit. I feel obligated. Oh, now it makes sense with, because the devil didn't want me to get on here and show the people watching me right now. My phone broke. It cracked. It was $350. I didn't have it, but God made a way so I can give women this information and this power tonight, because somebody's on the brink of trying to kill themselves. Somebody's thinking about giving up because they tired. They tired of fighting. They don't want to go on no more. So I have to say tonight that as a woman of strength, you have to go on. We need you. We need you. Let me say that again. We need you. Us men can't make it without you. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have a woman that I got. I would be a mess. Let me say that. So tonight, I feel powered up. I feel like God gave me my second wind, but I know it has everything to do with the women in my life. So tonight, I want to hear from you guys. Give us your pain. Let us help you turn that pain into your purpose. Let us help you turn that pain into that purpose so you can go forth. You can go on. You don't have to keep going on as if life is just meaningless, because all you keep thinking about is what's hurting you. All you keep thinking about is who hurt you. All you keep thinking about is who left you. I don't want you to stay in that space. That's a prison that you don't have to remain in. So we want to hear from you tonight. Please call in. Please call in. Women of strength, women of glory, women of heaven, women of power, women of love. We want to hear from you tonight. I know you're crying. I know you're going to wipe them tears, but we want to hear your story. So call in and talk to us on the night. You know I could keep going with. Give us something. Give me something with.
You set it off for about 10 minutes straight. Call in, guys. 914-969-6499. 718-705-4959.
I just think it's important, Whit. I think it's important, too, especially in a time like now where so much is going on in this world that people are being conditioned to talk more about the problem than they're being conditioned to talk about their power.
We had a caller. What's the number? What's the number? Somebody on the phone? Oh.
Hello, who's on the line?
They hung up?
Call back. We want to hear from you. I'm sorry. We had a little mix-up, but call back in, please. We want to hear from you. But like I was saying, unfortunately, we are in a time where people are talking more about their problems than they're talking about their power. And it's time for us to break that. It's so much sad and traumatizing news going on and out every day that we're being conditioned to just talk about the problem. We're being conditioned to talk about what hurts. Very few are talking about the solution. So tonight I want us to.
Well, the thing is too, we talk a lot too, and I've been a person who's done it. Is that we talk a lot to people that can't change anything. We talk a lot. Well, we should be talking through our prayers and communicating with God.
Say that a little louder. Say that a little louder.
I said a lot of times we talk to other people. We talk to our friends.
That's
we talk
good.
to our colleagues instead of taking it to God and talking to Him about it. We talk to people who can't change our situation.
That's
and
good.
I want to shout out to our women out there because our mothers, even thinking about my mom, the first black superintendent, the first female superintendent in Mount Vernon, and coming from the South, she was in the fields picking, tobacco? She was picking tobacco. Her mother, my grandmother, my grandfather didn't have too much of anything, but they saved their little coins. And for my mom to come from the South all the way up to Westchester County, New York, get her college degree, and become so powerful in education and still able to have 3 kids, juggle the life and being married, is strong. And she said to me this week, in me going through what I'm in this season, she said, "Yo, Whit, your mother's strong. You come from good, strong stock. I ain't a weak individual. I'm strong. So what makes you strong?" Right? So the thing is that, and I said that to say is that I want ladies to think about, even if it's not your mom, even if you didn't grow up with your mom, but some powerful woman in your life that has done some magnificent things that you can pull on their coattails. Even thinking about our ancestors, our Harriet Tubmans, those people. Look at where the stock that we come from, the people that African American people come from, is just strong and has strength in itself. So the thing is, we all have this power in us. It's just about us tapping into that power, reconnecting to the source, who is God. Yes, somebody's on the phone. Hi.
Hi,
Hi, who's this?
Pretty Ricky.
Pretty Ricky in the house. What's up, mama? You are a woman of
up?
strength.
So I know that Dwayne mentioned, how are you turning? Can you repeat?
The question? What's the question that you had?
The question for tonight is, do I want to turn my hurt into healing, and do I want to turn my pain into purpose?
Right. So when we spoke about that, it actually resonated with me because when I went through this really big, terrible breakup last year and a half ago, it was super devastating to me, and to the point where I kind of started researching ways to deal with overcoming breakups in a more positive and I guess it's more productive and faster way. And it kind of pushed me to start Heart to Heart Eureka, which is something I focus on Instagram. And I turned that pain into something that would be purposeful for others, because in using the techniques that I learned along the way, I was able to create 30-second, 1-minute videos to talk to people about ways that they can kind of navigate heartbreak.
That's good.
And it's been beneficial for me, because even after that, you go in and out of relationships, and it's being able to use this skill set that I'm communicating with others ongoing.
That's
and
good.
We're always learning and ever changing, and every situation is different. And I find that in each new situation, I try to find the positive route out.
Good.
If that makes sense.
And I thank you so much for. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I just
go
wanted to
ahead.
say thank you so much for because what you're saying you dealt with that hurt and then turn it into a level of healing and now purpose. What you did was actually embody, right, what that question is, what I'm suggesting, and rather just trying to raise awareness with that question for somebody else who's in that space that you once was in, right? Somebody doesn't know how to deal with that level of disappointment and that heartache. So what you're saying is I decided to turn that into something that can inspire and have conversation through these 30-second, 1-minute videos to really help make somebody else aware that they too can come out of what it is that you once was in. So
Yeah.
round of applause to you.
I also want to chime in and say that it's also a part of your healing process. So as you're talking
That's good,
and
Whit.
giving these tools and advice to other people out there, it's also healing you and making you stronger every single day. And also you're creating a diary for yourself because you could go back and say, wow, look how far I came.
That's good, Whit.
You know, so it's great. I see your videos all the time. If you want to connect with Pretty Ricky, hit her on Instagram. It's Pretty, PrettyRicki, Pretty Ricky. Follow her. She's dope. There's always a testimony. Okay, thanks, Pretty Ricky. We got another call.
We got another caller calling in. Pretty Ricky, thank you so much for calling in.
Bye,
Who else
hon.
is on the line? Thank you so much.
No problem.
Hello,
Hello, who's on the line?
this is Sam.
Sam, what's going on? What's going on, good brother? Thank you so much for calling in tonight.
God bless you. I love you, brother.
Yeah, we love you too, Sam. What's going on?
You're a powerful example, Dwayne, man. You come from a strong woman. You come from a strong woman, my sister.
I know that's right. This is my uncle on the line, y'all. He's showing me some love tonight, so thank
What's
you
up,
so much,
Uncle?
Sam. He ain't lying. His sister, my mother,
You
was
know,
definitely
man.
a powerful force. Go ahead, Sam.
I got to turn this down because I'm kind of below. But I just like to say, man, turning pain into motivation. That's what I did, I done came a long way. I done went upstate. I was out there smoked out. And now I'm in church for 12 years saved, I'm looking
Amen.
at God, man. And your mother is a strong woman because I lost my mother. And she kept all my brothers together, your uncles together, and then she had kids herself.
Yes, she
She
did.
raised us and kept us together, man. So, you're a very powerful example, Dwayne, man. I'm very proud of you, brother.
Round of
Thank you
applause.
so much,
In the
Sam.
Lord, that's what I'm doing, man. I just called to give you praise and blessings, man.
Thank you so much, Sam. I appreciate it, man. I love you too, man.
God bless you too, Whitney.
Thank
I'm
you,
reading your
Unc.
book too, Whitney. I got your book.
You got
I'm
it.
reading the book. I don't want to take up time because I know Karen and Sharon.
Karen,
So y'all
thank you
keep
so
both
much
y'all
for
in
calling
prayer. Y'all
in.
keep grinding and keep on the battlefield because it's about saving
That's a
souls.
battlefield.
I know that's
Thank
right, Sam,
you.
man. Thank you so much, man. Keep up the good work, man. I'm proud of you, man. Keep it going, Sam.
Thank you. You know what?
Love you.
Thank you, Uncle Sam. I love the fact that we're able to encourage each other, because that's a part of strength in general. It's just being able to encourage another brother, encourage another sister
Yeah.
while you're going through it, even when you're not going through it and everything is cool. But always remember what the pain that we go through, situations that we go through is all it will all work out for our good and is designed for a purpose. It brings out things that we didn't even know was there.
Yeah.
It brings out things that we have to heal from. It brings out,
Yeah.
passions and what's the word I'm looking for? It brings out it bursts new what's the word I'm looking for? Not testimonies, but I can't think
Can
of
I
the
say it
word.
this way?
It births greatness. It's some things that you have inside you that pain will bring out of you.
Can I say it this way to add to
Go
what
ahead,
you're saying?
stop changing what
No, I'm not trying to change it. I want to add to it. I love it. I think it's the truth, right? But what I want to say is, along with what you've already said, I'm not trying to change it. It's phenomenal. The truth is, or more truth, right, is that God has a tendency to use what we don't like to bring about things that become better than how they once were. That's
our
the
good.
truth, right?
For our
And
good.
it's uncomfortable. It's a painful process. But things always end up becoming better than what they were before. So even with the testimony of Cynthia Marshall, we looking at a story of a woman who went through or watched her father or heard about her father have to kill a man who put a gun to her head as a child at 11. And then she went through domestic violence. Then she went through cancer. And now she's experiencing a favor that she probably never thought that she was experiencing when she was experiencing domestic violence, when she had the gun to her head, when she was going through cancer. She never thought that she would be a CEO, an interim for the Dallas Mavericks as a black woman. She never thought that she would experience this. So what I'm saying to you is sometimes God allows the most unfortunate, uncomfortable, painful, dark, disturbing. I can't stand this. Why do I got to go through this? He allows those things to bring about something that becomes better than what has ever been. So what she's experiencing and what we're experiencing, or if you have yet to experience because you're going through a rough, dark space right now, you will experience something bigger, better, and way more than what you've ever experienced before. But you got to stay the course. You got to hang in there.
And you can't give up. And it's not only about him birthing greatness, but it's also about him reconnecting us to him. Because sometimes God has to use the pain in order for us to be in alignment with him. Because sometimes we get out of alignment. We get out of God's will. So God says, you know what? You putting these people in front of me. You putting this job in front of me. You putting money in front of me. All these idols in front of me. No, I'm the source. So I'm going to need to put you through this, put you through these uncomfortable situations, put you through pain, let him walk out, let her walk out, because I need you to know who is the first and priority and who you need to be in alignment with. So you're going into this pain so I can reconnect you to me, the source.
I love it. Because the truth is that's the truth. It's kind of like God is looking, saying, whether you believe or not, right? Whether you believe it or not, something beyond you, beyond us, formed us. I studied about 4 shows ago. The mysterious force that formed you said and is watching you choose everything other than that force, right? We're calling it God or Jesus or whatever you want to say, right? But the reality is something greater than us formed us, and it's watching us say, oh, I'm not enough.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not enough, huh? Oh, okay, I'm going to let you go through boom, 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 boom. And I'm going to allow those bombs to drop.
We got bombs. Down the front.
Everywhere you go and step, it's a bomb. Boom, 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 boom. And it's just an army. It's chaotic. It's going crazy. And you're like, oh my God, you running for safety. But everywhere you run into another bomb. Boom, 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 boom.
Into another relationship.
Boom, another relationship, another bar, another club, another something. And everywhere you're running everywhere other than you supposed to run. And it's like that mysterious force is still keeping us, even in the midst of us running in opposite directions of the force.
Yeah, but he's so good. He'll just still have
and
his
he's
hand on
watching
you.
saying, oh, I'm not enough.
He'll still have his hand on
So
you.
sometimes
He gonna make you make him.
if we don't surrender.
Yeah, that's it. Surrender.
This is what happens. And here's the challenge. Here's the challenge. Because somebody's listening to me saying and thinking, I can't do all of that. I'm not perfect. I'm human.
They might not know how to surrender. Too.
Here's the surrender language. I want what you want for me.
That's him.
It's real simple. I want what you want for me. Because when you start to say I want what you want for me, and then I make it my discipline to stay connected to you each and every day. Even though I may slip and make mistakes along the way, I still want what you want for me. In that connection, what happens is I start to be re-strengthened because I feel disconnected, powerless, and weak when I'm not connected. I'm finding myself reaching for everybody else, and the people that I'm reaching for, they bringing me into a deeper darkness. They bringing me into more chaos. So I'm finding myself feeling overwhelmed and frustrated and aggravated because I'm reaching for the wrong people. I'm trying to feel good more than I'm trying to transform. Oh, let me say that again. I'm trying to feel good more than I'm trying to transform. And so you place your expectations on people as if they got the power of God, and the truth of the matter is that they don't.
Here we go. And also being self-serving. Thinking about, does my desire, what I desire more are my desires more important than God? So that's self-serving. And I had to come.
Say it.
I
Say
had
it.
to
Say it.
take a look at myself.
Thank you.
You know, as I'm going through this season.
I love it.
Of
Thank you, Whit.
being walked out on. Like, the thing is that I had to think about, am I self-serving? You know, do I want this more than I want God? Do I believe this and believe what I feel more than what God feels? You know, God, what is it that you're trying to tell me? And like Dwayne said, the surrendering languages is, God, let your will be done. Not my will, but your will be done. And you might ask, how do I surrender? Not just the language, but also in our actions, because it's about putting God first. It's about making God, being in relationship with God. How do you do that? You pray. What else do you do? Read his word. What else do you do? Listen to music that is going to edify your spirit, uplift your spirit. Talk to people who are connected to God, who can give you that godly advice. How else do I cultivate that relationship with God? You make sure you have meditation time. And also, as you pray, as you read, you sit in silence. Let God answer you. Sometimes we just pray and talk to God. We don't give it a minute just to chill so we can hear what he's saying to us. So those are the things that helps us, you know, or helps us be in alignment and surrendering with God.
I got it, Whit. Can I do this real quick? Can I give him like a minute
Yeah,
sermon
I know
real
you
quick?
itching.
Can I give him a minute
Go
sermon?
ahead.
Here it is, right?
Go ahead.
So it is a story, right? You don't even have to be familiar with the Bible. But here's the story, right? It's a story about Samson and Delilah, right?
Oh, okay.
Samson, right? Oh, my God. Here we go. Whit, sit down. No, don't distract me. Sit down, please. Sit down. Here we go. Here's the story, right, about Samson and Delilah, right? Samson,
you, God.
he's playing around with this woman named Delilah. He's playing with her, right? And she keeps asking him, what's your power? Because Samson, he used to catching bodies. He's used to destroying people, right? Because that's what God gifted him and anointed him to do, to lay people down for the kingdom of God. And that's what he did. But he hooked up with Delilah. And Delilah is trying to find out what his power is. And his power is his hair. He's strong because of his hair. So he's playing with her. She's like, yo, tell me what your strength is. Nah, baby girl, I'm strong with this. I'm strong. He playing with her. Eventually, he gives in to her. And he tells her, and you know what she does? She falls asleep and she cuts his hair off. And you know what? She lined him up. She set him up for the 211. And you know what? They came in, they tied him up, they locked him up, they gouged his eyes, they did him dirty. And you know what he says in his moment of surrender? He says, God, please strengthen me one more time. Oh, my God. Strengthen me one more time, God. Look what he had to do. He had to say, strengthen me one more time. He realized that he was taking his strength and his power for granted. He was playing with it. He was placing it in the arms, in the hands of people who didn't mean him no good. And sometimes that's what we do. We place our gifts, our power, our anointing, our purpose in the hands of people who want to see us weak, who want to see us taken out. Right. Yeah, they leading us to believe that they with us, but they don't have our best interests at heart. So what happens is they become our Delilah. That man is a Delilah. That woman is a Delilah. And what happens is you find yourself becoming weakened the more you talk to them. And every time you hear from them, it's a problem. Every time you hear from them, they complaining. Every time you hear from them, they telling you about something wrong with you. That's your Delilah. They're weakening you. And you're Samson, strong, ready for the glory, ready to fulfill purpose. And you can't fulfill that purpose because you hanging with Delilah. But what happens with God? When he says, God, strengthen me one more time, God gives him the strength and his hair starts to grow back. And his hair starts growing back. And you know what happens? He kills everybody in that banquet, in that party, in that place. And he fulfills his purpose. Amen. But he had to realign himself back again with God in order to get his strength back. That's the sermon for a minute, 2 minutes. That's the sermon. Until we surrender and recommit ourselves back to God, we will not get our strength back.
Right.
We won't get it back. And you will find yourself probably, hopefully not. But, you know, the reality is that many who struggle with God in conversations like this, they still trying to get their strength back on their own. That's the mistake that you make. You can't get it back on your own because the strength is not yours to begin with in the first place. God gave you the strength.
Right. We try to find our strength in other things and other people.
Oh, my God. Woo.
As well as getting on our own.
We got 5 more minutes left.
Anybody
we got another call in.
Come on, 914-969-6499, 718-705-4959.
Yeah.
914-969-6499, 718-705-4959.
And if you choose not to call in, right, we can wrap up the show with just this perspective, this spiritual perspective, that if you're feeling weak, tired, vulnerable, lost, disconnected, you can't go on anymore. You had enough. It's too hard. It's too rough. Let me help you, or let us rather help you understand that your strength, even if you're mad at God, you got to go back to God to get that strength, because you're not going to be able to give it to you yourself. Nobody on earth is going to be able to give it to you. All people will be able to do is make you feel good, remind you, or weaken you. That's all people will be able to do. Let me say that to you again. All they will be able to do is make you feel good, remind you, or weaken you. You have to pick and choose which one you choose to do. Because if you don't choose God, those three options will not secure you, strengthen you, equip you, prepare you for life.
And we can't blame God because of the actions that we took.
Oh, no, we can't.
You know?
No,
so
we
some
cannot.
of us will say, God, why this? Why this happened? God, I didn't tell you to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wanted to add that.
That's a great ad, Whit. But we only can be strong and be strengthened through our connection. And let me say this. Here's the money part as we come to a close.
And I want to say something.
This, hear me and hear me loud. Let me stand up on this one.
Uh-oh.
Hear me loud and clear on this one right here. This is not religious talk.
Nah, man.
This is not religious talk. This is not Christianity. This ain't Islam. This ain't Buddha. This ain't Hindu. This is not religious talk. You will not be able to get through this journey of life trying to be strong on your own. I don't care who you are, who you think you are, what you've been through, who your name is in these streets. You will not be able to get through this process without a belief and a faith in the mysterious divine force that we call God. You won't do it. You're not strong enough on your own. Some of the strongest people in this life have killed themselves because they could not do it anymore. You got millionaires, billionaires who took their lives.
Yep.
You got homeless people who couldn't take it no more. So you will not be able to do it without that mysterious, divine, supernatural force that we call God.
Yes, sir.
So this ain't religious talk. So if you feel like I'm not trying to hear that, I'm not trying to get with that, that's not what I'm not on that type of time. I'm here today to encourage you with all my heart and soul. Snap out of it. Shake it off. Because all you doing is setting yourself up for a weak, vulnerable moment, because your next storm is going to come and you're going to drown, champ. You're going to drown.
Right.
You're going to drown. Your business going to drown. Your kids going to drown. Everything you love is going to drown because you keep talking about, I'm not trying to hear God.
And that's so good. We're going to end with this. I want to actually go scripture. This is one of my favorite scriptures when I need strength and when I look for help. So I'll end with this, and you can pray us out. Okay. So this is Psalms 121, one of my favorite Psalms. When I'm feeling down and I need to be strengthened from the Lord. So I want to recite this. I will lift up my eyes to the hills. From where comes my help? My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. He will not allow your foot to be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. Behold, he who keeps Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve you from all evil. He shall preserve your soul. The Lord shall preserve your going out and your coming in from this time forth and forevermore. You take us out in prayer.
God, we thank you for another night to glorify you, to edify you, to lift you up, to show our faith, to be unashamed about our belief and our connection with you. But tonight, God, I feel led to intercede on behalf of those who don't mess with you, who don't believe in you, who not feeling you. They don't want to hear nothing about you. I pray for them tonight. I pray that tonight that this conversation comforts them and meets them right in that angry, broken, frustrated space that they finding themselves in right now. I pray right now for them their families, their jobs, their businesses, everything that you have blessed them with, and they still not thanking you for it. Because they still trying to exalt themselves. They're still trying to be God as if they could ever be. God, the reality is that we come from you. We didn't form ourselves. We didn't create ourselves. So tonight, I humbly thank you for forming me and keeping me connected and honoring my prayers and honoring my sacrifice and honoring some of my obedience and honoring the times that we decided to get back up.
Yeah.
So bless us another night. Bless us another day to continue to serve. But meet them people, God, where they are.
They are.
Help them heal. Help them transform and help them fulfill their purpose. And don't let them stay in that place of disconnection. Let them transform so that their kids can see them glorify you, so that their kids can glorify you, because that's where their kids will really draw their strength from. Our parents, they drew strength from you, God. They had their strength from you, and we're now able to walk in that same power and strength. So help them people who have children, who don't have children, who will have children. Glorify you, pray to you, believe in you, Father God. They don't got to be perfect, but what they got to perfect is their connection. They got to perfect their connection. They don't have to do everything right, but what they can't do is stay wrong. So tonight, God, we love you. We trust you. We need you. We can't do it without you. Forgive us for thinking that we could do it without you. Forgive us for trying to be you. And forgive us for making greed our God. Because many of us, God, want the money more than we want you. Many of us don't want to hear nothing about you, but we all ears when it's time for the money. Forgive us, God, because money sometimes, it won't take the cancer away. It won't take the lupus away. It won't take the diabetes away. It won't take death away. So sometimes money is not always the answer, God. It helps, but it doesn't heal. So tonight, I pray, Father, for every person who's struggling with believing in you. Cover our children on tonight, Father God, because some of us are too arrogant and ignorant to lift up and pray for our own children because we so busy complaining about what we don't got. So forgive us, God, and be with them children, Father God, for them parents who not even praying for their kids. We love you, God. We trust you. We need you. And we thank you for another episode of Conversations with Whitney and Dwayne to serve you and your people, God.
Amen.
In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much,
Check
everyone.
y'all out Thursday. Check us out next Thursday. YouTube channel. Whitney and Dwayne Convo. We need subscribers.
Subscribe
Thank you.
to our page. Thank you so much
Peace
for another
out. Thank you
episode
for
and tuning
listening.
in. We love y'all.
We
God
out.
bless. Peace.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
We jamming
Hell yeah, we jamming.
in the